How about mage cards? Smile. Everyone say pog because now mage cards are here. Okay, we saw this card yesterday. King Tide, 4 mana, 4/4 battle cry. Both players' spells cost 5 until the end of next turn. Pretty sure this card's broken. This is this might be one of the best cards we've seen in this expansion. Will be played in virtually every single deck mage is in because it's just so good. Like if you want to stop your opponent from playing spells, it's really strong. If you want to stop rogue from having any fun, this is the card for you. It sets up for your big spells, but most importantly, it's a 4 mana 4/4 that's just playable in almost every single deck. So that's really, really good. It's just in a vacuum good card. The only time this is bad is if your opponent is also playing big spells and you play this and then now they have access to play that big spell early. So you have to kind of really understand what you're going against for this card to be good. But this seems like a very, very strong card. Okay, so we're going which way? This way? Why is it backwards? Okay, I guess we'll start here then. Rising Waves. 3 mana, deal 2 damage to all minions. If none die, deal 2 more. I believe this caps right after one another, right? So it does 2 if none die, it does 2 and then it stops. It's like double consecration if no minions die. For 3 mana. It's not bad. Really good. It could be really good in arena. 3 mana to deal 4 though. Like if it does 2, you're not that happy about it. Because we had a card in Mean Streets of Gadgetzan like that, so you kind of need it now. Okay, so the class that gets mage cards is Paladin. No, it's Druid. Druid gets the mage cards, right? So wait a minute, hold on. Druid really likes King Tide, right? Oh my god. I don't know if Druid wants this card in a sense, but I mean, it could be good in Druid, right? Not bad. Under the Sea. Why does it say spacebar? Oh, I understand. You guys, they're so funny, guys. 6 mana, draw a different spell, summon a random minion of that spell's cost. Okay, obviously really good in like big spell mage or big druid mage, but I think that's this might be too slow. It's tough because it's like, okay, Leo, since you're in chat, you can answer this question because I'm not sure. If I play King Tide and then I play Under the Sea, let's say I pull like a 10 mana spell, do I get a 5 cost or do I get a 10 cost? Because like the spells cost 5 until the end of your next turn, but the base cost is 10. But I think for me, if you pull from your deck, it costs 10, right? It's Spiteful without a body. Give me 1 minute before I say the wrong thing. Okay, we'll get back to that. I don't know if it's necessarily Spiteful. Spiteful, I guess, you're kind of right. It is Spiteful. Spiteful also gave you the 4/4 though. Spiteful is like a better card than this almost, right? Which is hilarious because that card came out so long ago. I don't know. It could be good. It's tough. It really depends if like the problem with cards like this is like it really hinges on making big spell decks like playable. So if it's not playable, it's actually like really, really bad. Obviously. Tsunami. 8 mana for frost spell. Summon 3/6 water elementals that freeze. They attack random enemies. You guys remember in Rise of Shadows? Wait, it was Ashes of Outlands, not even Rise of Shadows. So 2020, there was 8 mana, freeze an enemy and summon 2 water elementals. This is the same cost, but it summons an extra one and they attack. Yo, what the hell? That seems pretty nuts. The thing about this card is it fits well in Mage and it fits well in Druid, right? It's different water elemental art too. I guess it makes sense though because you're not like in a frosty vibe, right? You're more in like a beach theme, which is kind of nice art. Probably pretty good. I think again, if Mage wants big cards, this is very playable. Druid might take this. I don't know. It really depends if Druid can do something better than this. We haven't seen the Druid cards yet, right? So it's iffy if Druid still wants to run something like Tsunami, but again, if it all works, like we're kind of cooking here. Surfalopod, 5 mana 5/6 battle cry. The next spell you draw is cast when drawn, and it's a beast for Mage as well. Okay, so this is nuts. Wait, this whole package is kind of sick, right? This on 4, like so you have like King Tide if you need it to play one of these, or you play Cephalopods and then you can go Under the Sea into Tsunami. King Tide Under the Sea draws a 10 cost spell, summons a 10 cost. Okay, so that's actually a really good interaction. Thank you, Leo. And Druid Gets to use all of these. Yo, that's kind of sick, man. I think Druid likes every single card here, especially like this is a good card. If you're building like big deck, like that is sick. That is awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna double check to see if they're added to the site. If not, I'll just take the. Okay, I'm sorry for the horrible screenshots here, chat, but we're gonna start off with this. Okay, so this is the Mage Tourist. Well, that's for Paladin, I guess. 4 mana 2/5 Raa Sand Sculptor. After you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost minion and give it Divine Shield. This allows you to play every Paladin card except for the Tourist for Paladin in Mage decks, which is really good. This is a very nuts card, I'm pretty sure. 2-cost spell with Divine Shield, it seems really strong. Is Doomsayer in standard, chat? That's the only question I have. Because if Doomsayer is not in standard, like I'm pretty sure this card's nuts. It is? Okay. That's man, Doomsayer with Divine Shield's pretty sick, right? I don't know. I feel like on average, this card's nuts. Like this is a nuts card. It's so good. If this card lives, you're so fucked. You're so fucked. If it, I mean, even you probably play it on a turn where it does like a lot of really, really powerful stuff. It's 4 mana. Comparatively to a card like Shedvala, which was like a 3 mana 2/5 after you cast 3 spells, summon a 5/5 elemental. Okay, we good. Let's look at all the other mage cards first before we get there. Tide Pool is 3 mana location for mage. Discover a spell that costs 3 or less. After you cast a spell, reopen this. So remember, Druid can play these cards too. So Tide Pools, mage's current spells in standard are okay for this. Like, what would you like? Infantize the Maxitude is fun, I guess. Frostbolt something. Druid can get Wild Growth. Druid can get Swipe. Is like the 2 ones that are coming. Druid can also get Innervate, which is kind of whatever, but whatever. I think the locations aren't touristable. No, I'm pretty sure they are. It's everything but the tourist. Funnel Cake, you can't. It's biased towards your class. Like you can't get a random ass spell. So it has to be like from your class or a neutral pool, and there's literally no neutral spells currently because the Sun's well is like rotated out. So Druid loves this card, I'm pretty sure. I think Druid likes this card more than Mage, but if you're playing the Taurus for Mage, like you kind of want this card. It's really questionable like how good this card actually ends up being. It's definitely a good location. It also makes the Druid legendary better, like the one that summons 2 random locations, because like this is one you'd be like pretty happy to get, to be honest. All right, what is this? Maroon to Archmage, 3 mana 3/3. Your first spell each turn costs 2 less. So in theory, this is a 1 mana 3/3, which only gets better the more it's left alive. If you get to play 1 spell with this, are you liking this? I don't know. If you get 2 spells with this, this is kind of sick. It's a lot of value. It's tempo and value at that point, right? But asking this to live 2 turns sounds like it's not that easy to do. So I'm not sure if that actually ends up being the case. Now in Druid, does Druid want this? You play what? Wild Growth. Maybe this in the turn after. Try to protect it. You can play this into Wild Growth, I guess. That seems really slow. Because you have to use the gift first. I don't know. I'm not really excited for this. It's all right. I feel like in some instances there will be really good synergy with this. Like you will win it. You might win a game from this card alone, but I'm not feeling it for sure. Did I factor in that he is wearing socks with sandals? Yeah, that makes the card even worse. Yeah, I don't know. Like it probably you get a guaranteed discount spell unless you coin into this, but if you coin into this, you deserve to lose the game, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not like, holy shit, this card's broken, but like it's probably okay. Just trying to think what deck you would really want this in. Like Druid, I think could do better. This is prep. It's not prep. I'd rather have prep. It's weird because like I think this card really hinges on if this card's playable, which it seems like it is. I don't know. I think it's just really awkward to fit in. Go with the flow. 1 mana, choose a minion. If it's an enemy, freeze it. If it's a friendly, give it spell damage +1. One mana to freeze it sounds bad. 1 mana to give a minion spell damage +1 is very interesting. So I think that Mage, this is not great, but in Druid, this might be popping. It gives you a turn. Like, Druid's not known for its removal, so, like, getting a turn to freeze sounds really nice. Or you give it spell damage +1. I think that's actually good. I can see this in Druid. But honestly, this seems like a card just to fit in for the location. So it's a little weird. It might be a discover only card. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure if you actually put this into your deck. Maybe I'm wrong though. I guess it works with the tourist as well. So that's kind of fun. Because I guess you can go like Rayla coin into this, freeze whatever minion they have on board, and then you can summon two costs minions with Divine Shield. They have Rush. No, just 2 costs. They get to discover card though. I don't know if you actually want to put this into your deck. I guess it's okay in Spell Mage. Because Spell Mage, you could use this to freeze, and then on top of that, you do have ways to generate minions in Spell Mage, so then you can get spell damage +1, and that's actually pretty relevant for 1 mana. And then you have the risk of drawing it for 5. Like, you get the 5 mana draw, and it discounts by 3. Meh. It's okay. Seabreeze Chalice. 1 mana since the drink. Deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies. And it's 3. So this is... okay. So this kind of completes the package here of like this and this. But I actually wonder how good this card is and with the Alanisk package. Because Alanisk runs, what, Living Roots, and it runs Swipe. But if you have Seabreeze Chalice... with all that spell damage, like, that's pretty nuts. I'm trying to think of, like, if that's actually playable, though. Because it's almost like Mizaki, in a sense. How much spell damage on average do you get from Alanisk, chat? Like, it's like, what, like 8? So if you have 1 mana, deal 10 damage, and you can do that 3 times, that seems very good. I mean, it really hinges on if Alanisk Druid is playable. I don't know. It's interesting to think about how this is going to interact with Druid. But it's probably good with Rayla. Like, I think this card's playable. I think this card at Mayfion. This card seems okay, but I think you want to discover it. And I think this card is good if you have the deck for it. But I think it fits just fine in Rayla, like Raa Sand Sculptor as well, right? But I'm pretty sure this is Alanisk Druid. Because that means you have more time to use your swipes early on. I could definitely see it. This card's actually not that bad. It's very, very interesting. So, oh, hold on. Let me also double check. Do any of these synergize with this? I don't know if you really want Rayla with anything here. So they're like in completely 2 different packages here. So if one of them doesn't work, there's a good chance that like other ones will. I feel like this package might be better. But maybe I'm coping. I don't know. Like, I feel like Druid likes a lot of these cards more than Mage does, which is hilarious. Have you seen Paladin cards yet? We've only seen... So Paladin can't use the Mage Tourist. Or the Mage... Yeah, Paladin you can't use the Mage Tourist. But you can use Volleyball and Mage. So this in Mage is interesting. You actually fight for the board with Jaina, like your hero. Then you play this, and then you have Rayla. Oh, this is kind of a weird. It's just so hard to evaluate this set just because there's so much interaction between all these classes. Holy man, I don't know. Because it's good for like, it's really good with the tourist. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Like, I think Mage actually might be really like, depending on what the rest of the Paladin cards are, like Tempo Mage might be like a really good deck. Actually, kind of sick. I'm a big fan of this set. This set looks extremely powerful though.